creators. And let me remind you that we're live on social media as well. 3 Extra on all platforms: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram as well. So those of us watching us on social media, this is a Thought Leadership Forum organized by Creator Circle and 3 Extra. And let me say a big shout out and thank you to our major sponsor, EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. Now, as I said earlier, we're going to have a roundtable discussion right here, right now. And the people that will be joining us to discuss their life into details and everything in between. Let me start from my favorite lifestyle personality. As I said earlier, I do hop on her pages once in a while when I get my salary to spot the locations that I can waste my money on. But now that I've heard from Mr. Paul Manti on smart money moves, I think I'll reduce it to maybe the windfalls that will come. Then I spend it there. Or maybe once every 3 months, I spend some money. Ladies and gentlemen, she goes by the name Finbar. She's a style content creator. Round of applause for Finbar. And now if you need anything tech, anything do this. Oh, this is how your iPhone 16 will work if you are on 500 megabytes data and everything. Desi Ocean is the personality for you. Round of applause for Desi Ocean. He will be joining us for the roundtable discussion as well. She recently came back from France and she cooked for the mayor of London. Yes, I said earlier if you came early, that some of us, we cook for our pets. The leftover, we give it to our pets. She cooks for the mayor of London. Chef Abby's is her name, and she'll be joining our roundtable discussion. Majeme Samba. Yes, very important. Named amongst the top creators around the world. Times first 100, Chef Abby's. Now, he commands the following. On Twitter, he is a god. In person, he is quiet. During concerts, he is crazier. Khali J will be joining us as part of the roundtable discussion. You should see him partying. I've seen him in a couple of parties, and it's crazy. It is crazy. To moderate this beautiful panel, he is my boss. He is a stout and unapologetic critic. He is a mentor to a lot of people. He has created a lot of brands in Ghana, social media-wise and everything. Sena Kwashi, my boss, he says it's okay. He doesn't like compliments, though.
I'm wondering why they put me in the light. But yeah, let's see. Because I'm already fair. I don't need more light, Anyway, I think the real stars are with me. So let me just go back a little so that they can see Desi's face. And then Time top 100 creator in the world, sitting right here. Finbar, and then also Joshua. I will always call him Joshua. I'm never going to call him Khali J. So for today, we are going to discuss... Oh, you don't know he's called Joshua? How many of you knew he was called Joshua? Should I mention the full name? Joshua Boy Note, is that it? Am I getting it right? Okay. So today we are going to talk about one of the important conversations that we had today. I think most of you are here for this part. You want to learn from the people that have done it. They've built their businesses. And again, for some of them, this year has been phenomenal. For some, last year and the year before was extra phenomenal. And I think even I can learn a lot from all of you, even though I'm not directly creating content now. I always tell everybody that we are all content creators. If you have a Facebook account, if you have an Instagram account or a TikTok account, you are creating some form of content because somebody is consuming what you're putting out there. So I'm really glad that you are all here to join us, talk about this, and then we all hope to learn something from you. Now, this is going to be very interactive. I'll let them talk for a while, then you come in with your questions, then I talk for a while, then you talk for a while, then you come with your questions. And because we have used some amount of time already, because we started late, people were coming on Ghana Man time, we would have to condense a lot of the conversation. I plan to keep Chef Abby here for like maybe 2 hours, but now I have to bring it down to 1 hour, which is so sad for me, It's not every time you see somebody that has gone to cook for the mayor of London. Anyway, let me start with Khali J.
Joshua.
How has it been for you so far?
think it's calm, it's cool. I'm just chilling.
You're just chilling.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I like about you is in 2023, 2024, 2023, I was still working somewhere. I think that's the first time we met. And we did some stuff with you because you were already bigger than our brand on Twitter. And you know, I work in media, and we build media brands. And we built one of the media brands that we believe was a big youth platform, right? I don't want to mention the name because I don't work there anymore. But we needed to partner with somebody to give us more eyeballs on Twitter because somehow, even though we were big, we were not getting into the Twitter space. So in our thoughts leadership sessions, or the brainstorming sessions rather, your name came up. And then we had a very good relationship at the time. That was just the beginning. Somehow in 2023, 2022, you were able to turn your social influence into activism. Maybe let's start from that point. How did that happen for you?
Okay, so it was quite a very funny story, but after school, after JIJ, I was doing quite well in the social media space. I was getting money, I was getting contracts, I was getting brands. And the people I sat in class with, I mean, even though I'm not like a brilliant student, right? But I'm not like, I passed my exams, basically. So after school, a lot of people that were like very brilliant in my class were struggling to find jobs. And it wasn't making sense to me because if like in a sensible space or in a good society, it should be easier for them to get jobs and all that. But you find them struggling to find jobs and all that. So as part of me questioning society and how broken our space is, it led to Fix the Country, because I realized that once in a while, if the country is fixed, a lot of things will work right. People graduate from school and get good paying jobs. Because me personally, my DMs are very crazy. My WhatsApp, my Twitter, my Instagram, my emails, Snapchat, unless I don't post, you find them in my DMs asking for hospital fees, hospital bills, school fees, hostel fees, jobs, and all that. But I realized that if we have a good working system, most of the burden on there will reduce. So I think that's what led to the whole Fix the Country thing that started, that went viral.
So to summarize, I can say that billings, or people billing you, is what made you start Fix the Country, basically.
Well, one way or the other.
Wrong wording.
One way or the other.
One way or the other.
Yeah.
Okay, but I like what you mentioned, right? And I think that's the reality check that we've spoken about even at the beginning today. Everybody needs money. You need some money. I think someone wants to quit his job. But Mr. Mante didn't say it directly, but don't. Yeah? Until you start making some money, please don't quit your job to focus on content creation. The reality check here is we all want to do something to make money. Even for some of us who are working in a salaried environment, you know, every month we get our salary. Content creation for us in the beginning is like the side hustle or the second stream of income, right? So maybe let me do a first reality check with all of you, and maybe I'll start with you, Desi. When did you make your first 1 CD from content creation? Like how much did you make? What did you make it for? How did it start for you?
So let me start from where I began. I've been creating content for a couple of years now. So I started making money in my 5th year of creating content. And probably that was like $50, I think. So that was the first. The dollar was 5 CDs. So like how much? 250? 250 CDs somewhere along that side, yeah. So 5 years into my journey, that's when I made my first actual money in it, and yeah. So it wasn't any platform, it was a paid partnership with a brand, yeah.
Hello. When did I start making money?
Yes. Or when did you make your first, like even if it was 1 CD, 2 CDs?
Okay, so just like he said, I started 2022. So this is my 3rd year. Okay. I've been a content creator for 3 years. Okay. And so the year I started was the year I started making money from brands. So partnership with brands is how I started making money. And that was the first time I ever made any money at all from a brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had an easier, start
No,
in
no,
a
no,
sense?
not really.
Well, somebody said he waited 5 years to make money.
Okay, yes.
So you have to, you have to thank your stars.
That's actually true.
Pearl,
Hey, how do you know my name is?
I was briefed on all of your names,
Because everyone calls me Finbar.
Okay, so Finbar. I'll go with Finbar then.
Okay, so, no, anyone is fine.
Okay.
So, my first was 2020, lockdown. I had just finished Miss Malaika in 2019, so it was more like when I started, it was like a hobby for me. And I had become very confident in front of the camera. I loved clothes at the time, so I used to just like play around with some clothes, and it was a clothing brand, like a small business. She paid me 500 CDs to advertise about 6 clothes. So that was the first I made, 500 CDs in 2020. Yeah.
2020. And you? You don't want to say?
Oh, I think 2019, 2020, thereabouts, I had like 10,000 followers on Twitter, and I was just catching crews. And one of the agencies approached me that there is this brand gig, and they wanted to put me on. I didn't even know that brands were paying. So I took it. It was like 50 CDs or so.
Okay, great. Interesting thing is, the first time I made money from content creation was in 2012 or 2011. At the time, what we were doing, we didn't call it content creation, which is why we were calling ourselves bloggers, I guess. So I used to run a fashion blog with one of my friends, braperichi.com. And, back then, Facebook would pay you for putting ads on your website. And, you have to create a dollar account and then get them to send the money in. I think we made about, the first time we got the money from them was $16. And I remember walking into GT Bank to tell them, oh, my dollar account has received $16. Like, you see, they were looking at me like, what, $16? But over time, of course, it started to grow, and then Facebook shut it down. So it's an interesting thing to hear when you make the money, because a lot of the people here are students, and some of them also have day jobs, right? So there's the issue of, someone mentioned earlier, how they really want to do this content creation thing, and they've started, but they're not making any money. But they are feeling like if they leave their day job, their salaried day job, which you said is not enough, the salary is not enough. It's not enough. Good. If they leave their day job, they will be able to focus more on the content creation. And they believe that focusing on the content creation would drive them to finally make the money, right? So what I want to hear from you is just looking at how you balance the content creation that you're doing now with a time that you had a full-time job. I think for you, Chef Abis will excuse you because you moved away from engineering to content creation full-time in a sense. But for any of you that was maybe like a student or working full-time and then had to be doing the content creation, how were you able to balance it and then still make some money out of it in that time? Finbar, you want to start?
So for me, I didn't have a 9 to 5. Along the line, I got a 9 to 5, but I've always started out as a full-time creator who got a job and later dropped the job and just focused full-time. So, yeah.
Okay, so you got the job and then you realized I will make more from content than this job anyway.
Yes, so for me, what I would say is the job that I got was not paying as much as I was making. And the second thing is, around the time I was doing my MBA in marketing, so it seemed like the perfect opportunity to practice some of the things I was learning. So me getting the job was not necessarily to make money. I just needed like some experience, and it was like a marketing firm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I feel like my situation is quite different.
Also. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move to Desi.
So for me, I started when I was in school, when I was in uni. So I still have a technology background. That was what I had. And I began creating content in terms of letting people know what they could do with their tech. Since I was reading tech, I was teaching people coding, right? So throughout the years, yes, I finished school, I did my service, and yeah, basically the job I was getting wasn't matching what I could make from content creation. Because my first ever big money I made was whilst I was working. That was during COVID, 2020. I got to work with the World Health Organization to create a game, still my background. And that was my first big check. So after that, I felt like, yes, there's something I can do full time. But even that, whilst I was still working, what I used to do is I used to batch record content. So I go and do my 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sunday, I sit, record about 10 videos, edit the video. During the week, I post it. Until I was able to see that, yes, I'm getting this amount of money and I can quit my job. So yeah, for someone who wants to quit your job, I'll just say, do what you're doing, find a way to balance things around it. And once you're satisfied with what you're doing and you're getting results from it, then you can decide that, okay, fine, I want to quit this.
I'm sure you've told this story several times. Your shift from engineering to cooking, right? And I think your story is one that it feels almost like you were cut out for this. You decided that I was going to do this, and it worked out instantly. Mm-hmm. Is that how it seems? Or is that how it was? Because that's what it seems like.
Facts. That's just it.
That's just it.
I knew what I wanted. I went for it. With no doubts. I had a mind that I like cooking. I have passion there, cooking. I've gone to school. I've done engineering. Engineering is also good. But I don't have the passion there, you know. And I don't just do something for money. Mm-hmm. I do something because I love doing it. Okay. In the course of that, I gain money, I gain recognition, brand deals, and all that. But then my vision is not to make money. Of course, money is good. But my vision is to do something I enjoy doing, I'm passionate about. So if it's cutting out engineering, I will do it. Okay. Because I enjoy the cooking.
Okay. But let's stay on that topic a little bit more, yes. Right? So one of the things I know is a lot of us, our parents don't understand the concept of content creation or working in the whole tech industry. I even had a full-time job, and my full-time job allowed me at the time to be home. You know, I could stay home and always, you know, be working on the laptop, doing the stuff. I develop, I write articles and stuff like that. My father never understood. Why are you not going to work? So he's always about get up and go to work. So how did you explain that shift? You have gone to spend time, study engineering, and then now you want to cook to your family. How did you explain that? Fortunately,
I have a very supportive family. They even encourage that statement. They're like, just stop the engineering. Why don't you focus on the cooking? I work in an engineering firm and with my dad, of course. So it was easier, exactly. So they actually supported my journey from scratch. They know I love cooking. I used to sell food in school. Even when I was in school, I was selling food. So it means that my whole heart was on the cooking, not really the engineering. I thought I could balance the two, so I started going to sites whilst creating content in the night. So I was putting my props on my bed and still shooting content in the night. I'll use my room lights. No matter what, I have to shoot this content, even if I come back from site late. So that was my vision. I realized that my heart is somewhere. My parents, my family, they supported me. So I'm just a lucky person.
Very, very lucky. Khali J, how has it been for you? Have you ever been working full-time and doing your whole content creation journey?
I think the only full-time I've done is national service.
That's it?
Yeah.
I think we have a very special breed of people up here. They've never had to, you know, hustle, let me put it that way, at work, wake up 8 to 5. Let me just explain what I mean by the hustle. The hustle is not like, you know, hustle in life. I'm talking about the hustle of 8 to 5. You know, you have to wake up early in the morning. You have to go to a bus station, try to get a trotro.
Well, we've actually done it. She mentioned she did it for some time. I also did it for some time.
No, but you did it. So the two of you did it outside of your content creation career. So, like, I'm talking about the people who are trying to juggle the two. So they have active jobs that's giving them salary for sustenance. They like the salary that's coming in. It's assurance. You know, 25th or 31st, depending on where you work, you get paid. You know some money is coming in. But with the content creation, when you've not built the portfolio as big as you guys now, you don't make any money, right? So that's the part I mean of the hustle, the juggling the two. It's very, very difficult for a lot of the people. How many here are creating content while still working or going to school? Just raise your hand. That's a lot. Is it difficult? Do you find the time to create the content you love? And do you find it easy to explain to your parents that this is why? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of us are parents to be, go school, no, who saw TikTok? My tree is bad, so if it's the tree you're laughing at, please excuse me. But I'm sure that's the kind of reality that a lot of people live with. But let's go back to you. For you, studying from GIJ, what did you study in GIJ? Random
Public relations.
public relations. Because I'm trying to see how you were able to connect or move from that to activism, and also then, because I think people remember Khali J now for the activism, but there was a time where he was doing the biggest spaces on Twitter.
Yeah, so I think my personality on social media is more of like how I am in real life, just that I'm a bit calm, but I am a very spontaneous person. I feel I can adjust to circumstances and spaces. I like entertainment, I like sports, I am passionate about whatever I focus on. So I think it has helped me a bit when it comes to the social media space. I've been doing social media all my life because I come from a family where my mom is always busy and I have to stay at home to take care of my little brother. So I didn't have the luxury of going out, like as my peers were going out to play football and all that. I was always home taking care. So all I had was my phone since I could remember.
Okay.
So from when TikTok was musically, I was always online and all that. I have accounts on almost every platform. But then it became serious when I started getting numbers on Twitter, right? So basically, I've always been a social media person. In GIJ, you do a bit of, if you are doing public relations, you get a bit of journalism training for like 2 years. You get a bit of marketing. You get a bit of advertising, a bit of PR, and like a whole blend of everything. You do a bit of photography. I did photography at a point. I learned graphic designing on my own. I learned video.
So you know everything, basically, that you need to survive in the influencer or content creation space.
So just coming to the space was more of like
but
me applying the knowledge I already have.
Two things. Maybe one question and then it leads to a follow-up. So now you've taken content creation as your career. All of you here. Yeah. It's your career. You don't have any backup plan? Anybody?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
To go back to engineering?
Yeah, and other things.
And other things.
Yes.
So do you have a backup plan also?
Yes.
Backup plan? It's still in motion. Do you have a backup plan?
Yeah.
What's the backup plan? GIJ?
No.
No, but it's just interesting to ask, because when you've taken this as your career, you've made that shift. You've decided that this is what I want to do. And this is even more directly to you, because like you mentioned, you were just on social media catching crews. That's what you said. Catching crews. And at some point, it became serious for you. You realized that, oh, you know what? I could make money from this. How then do you monetize your influence? Because for you, you've become an activist in a sense. How do you monetize your influence without compromising? Because again, when you are doing activism, it feels like you are doing this for the story you told about why you started Fix the Country. How do you monetize something like your activism for Fix the Country and things like that?
Okay,
but
so
this is a very tricky question.
It's not really tricky, but let me try. Okay, so I feel like before the whole Fix the Country stuff, I was full-time into influencing and brands. I was having most of the brands on my side, working and all that. But once you switch to activism, it becomes a bit difficult because there are some brands that do not want to associate themselves to you. So working with the brands sort of declined a bit. But then the exposure really went far because I had a lot of connect and doors opening for me in spaces that I couldn't imagine, right? But then the brands got limited. So it became a bit difficult because there are some products I couldn't promote. Even if they approached me to, sometimes the offers were very good, but then I look at my brand and I realize it doesn't really fit it, so I have to turn it down. Day in, day out, I turn down a lot of brands because there's always a balance I always make sure that I need to meet. So sometimes you need the money, but in the long term, you look at it and realize that you can do away without it as long as you're surviving then.
And that has become a thing post the activism persona that you've created. So now you have to really stick to one particular line. Okay, that's really interesting. Maybe to you, Finba. I think you do a lot of lifestyle and fashion content.
So lifestyle, fashion, travel, mostly travel now, but yes.
Mostly travel now.
Yeah.
I think that even already answers the question I was going to, because I know fashion and lifestyle brands to be a bit seasonal driven.
Yeah.
So there's the time that they come and then they are done for a while until they do some new, maybe Maybelline does some new makeup, something, or some Diaba Sewa releases a new collection that she needs to be put out there. But in those times, and even in the travel, I think there are times where there's a downtime. Especially during the COVID period, you are not traveling anywhere. How do you manage those downtimes to be able to have a consistent income level?
Okay, so first of all, when I started, I wasn't doing travel. I was doing fashion and lifestyle. And lifestyle is very broad. So there's like different brands. There's tech brands, skincare brands, makeup brands. So for me, I was a full-time creator. So I was actively posting on my socials. I was very intentional about it, like planning my contents, doing the batch creating. And even when I started, I mentioned I made 500 when I started. But for some time, I wasn't really monetized. The money was coming in once in a while, but I was still creating because I knew, like, I had targets for myself. I knew if I keep being consistent at it, I would be recognized, I would be part of the people they would choose to, be on some campaigns and stuff like that. And so for the travel, so in that light, I would say I invested in myself long enough to get to the period where throughout the year, I am getting, yes, different things are coming from small businesses to like the bigger brands. And on the travel aspect, it's quite different with fashion and luxury because fashion and lifestyle. Fashion, it's a product. Lifestyle, products. Sometimes it's vlogs, but like mostly products. Yeah. With travel, it's different. You have to pick yourself up and go there. Yeah. It's not every location I go to that I'm being paid for. Okay. Some of them are collaborations. Some of them I pay to be there because I feel like, oh, I've discovered this gem and it's worth putting out there, like to put your country out there because I've been to other countries. For some reason, tourism in Ghana is not that big, but I feel like there are a lot of locations, that should be put out there. So, to answer your question, I've said a lot, but
that's why you're able to maintain a sustainable level of income, because that's also one of the major things to think about. Because if you are doing content and you get one brand deal, and you don't know when the next one is going to come, you are just going to be going in that loop and everything. How do you, let me go to you, Desi, first, because you also do food, which is related to lifestyle. And how do you maintain a, stable income level throughout the year?
So for me, it's very simple. I'm still a developer at heart. Okay. So I still do development stuff. So I still do code. But it's not entirely getting income from that side. But let's say I do a gig for a brand, January. Brand pays me X amount of money. Maybe next month, nothing will come. That's when I go back to my development. Okay. I also teach. Okay. So there are sometimes I lecture people on different things. Maybe a university calls me to lecture as a guest lecturer for a period of time. I do that as well. Yeah, so for me, it's cut across easily.
So for you, it's not just the content creation that's driving a stable income level for you. You have found the balance to be able to, when it's going down, I know that this is the season to go back to the class.
Yes.
Or this is the season to go back to code.
Yeah.
How is it like for you, Chef Abis?
For me, what I did was, of course, brands will always be coming in, like you've all said. So you as a creator, you need to find ways to actually make money outside brands. And that's something we don't talk about a lot. So what I did was to create my own school out of my content creation. So I have a case of Chef Abby School of Food, where I teach people how to cook, online classes, live classes, cooking classes, having events within that. So we can have, I'm about to have a couple class on 2nd August. I'm also coming up with something called African Cooking Challenge, where I'm bringing something like what the Food Network people do on Chopped to Africa. So these are things I'm creating or I'm planning to create so that I leave the stream of brand deals, brand partnerships. Those are also important, but they don't always come. So you can create other things with your content creation you are doing. So it's all about impact. How do you also build impact so that when you create these things, people would want to come to you or work with you outside your content creation? So that's what I'm doing now. Okay. And it's helping, hopefully.
I like that. I think you have taken it as a business, right? So maybe let's talk about that business mind shift. When you realize that I'm not just me, I'm a businessman, to go Jay-Z. Is it Jay-Z? Yes, I think Jay-Z. What was what role was the first you hired to help you? I think this goes to all of you, so you can all answer quick fire. Just what was the first role you hired for to help you in your content creation journey?
Management.
Management. So you got a manager.
Yeah.
I was a partnership manager as well.
Partnership manager.
Yeah.
I got a PA first.
A PA. Yes, I remember you had every time on your Twitter, speak to my PA is in your bio. Okay. Finba.
Yeah, management. as
Management.
well.
Okay. And when you stop thinking as a content creator, because you have to, once you start hiring people, you are a CEO. I should put it that way, right? What triggered that point where you're like, no, I need a manager now? What was the part that triggered? Any of you can take that. Because since you've all done it, anybody can answer. Maybe Desmond, you are smiling.
So for me, it was more of things were getting overwhelming. So you could get multiple brands reaching out to you at multiple times, in the night, in the day, all wanting you to do certain things at certain times. And I felt I couldn't handle all on my own. I could not reply everyone. I could not detail out everything. I couldn't negotiate. I couldn't do everything on my own. So I hired that person to be in charge of that. Everything goes through that person before it comes to me.
Was this before or after Google recognized you?
So
It's a legit question because, see, if you are starting out today and you hear that they have managers and you're also going to get a manager without any, the story he's saying is the money was coming in. It was too much. You know that Stephen Appiah audio. Phones kept calling. So the phones kept calling. That's why he realized that he had to get somebody. And I think and I want to really hit on that because a lot of people make the mistake and they look at the established creators, as we call them in the creator circle lingo, the established creators, and they think, oh, if I want to be like Khali J has a manager, he has a PA. You are making $2, and then you are going to hire a manager. Eventually, you are not going to have a proper relationship with that manager because there's no clear monetary terms. The person will feel like it's a favor they are doing to you.
Yeah.
But if there's a proper, you are thinking like a business person, you have that business mindset. I need to hire this person. I need to pay this person every single month. I need to pay them maybe $2,000, $5,000, and you have to plan for that. You really take it serious as a business. But you can do that only when you can see some income coming in, right? So maybe over to you. When did you also make that shift?
Yeah. So for a long time, I worked on my own, and it got to a point I realized that I want to expand my brand. You can't do it on your own, trust me. It's, like you said, it's overwhelming. Aside that, when you appear with a professional board, brands take you very serious. Like, this is my manager. Speak to my manager. Brands take you...
Is that why you're always telling us to speak to your manager?
Not that, but I mean, brands, they take you serious because I'm not working on my own. Aside that, I have a team that we plan everything before we bring it out, exactly. So I wanted to get to a point where I can expand my brand, not just locally, international, everywhere. So if you want to do that, then it will get to a point that you need a team on board. But when you're starting, please don't stress about that. I didn't start like that. I started from grassroots alone, burning my hands with my copots. Exactly how I started, yes. And so it will get to a point you want to become big personalities. If you want to get to that stage, you have to start from somewhere. Now, when you get to that stage, you now expand because that's the only way you can keep growing and becoming bigger. So that's it for me.
Okay. Finba?
Yeah, so for me, it's funny because I didn't go looking for the manager. It was during my initial, the first 2 years, I had an agency come to me, and I was just starting out. So I agreed to it, and I feel like in a way it helped me because they helped put me on brands. They matched me to according to my niche at the time, they matched me to certain brands that sort of elevated my content. Because one thing about content creation is, you said anyone who has an Instagram, Facebook is a content creator. I feel like that's not true because you can even have 50,000 followers, but you're not necessarily a content creator. No, content creator. Content creation is intentional. You have to pick up your phone. Okay, now I want to be a lifestyle creator, so I'm going to vlog my week. I'm going to do this. I'm going to tell people about this product that works for me. That's content creation.
I'm going to remove content creator from my bio then. Because
So,
I
yes,
just wake up
they-
and post
they-
photos of myself.
They coming to me really impacted me as a person and my brand, even how I was posting on my page. I was very intentional, so that was that. But now the agency doesn't manage me anymore. But that's my, that's my story on management. Yeah.
Okay. The man with the PA.
Okay, so with a PA, I got a PA because I was getting too many messages and too many brands and clients reaching out to me, and it was very difficult keeping tabs and all that. So I just thought it wise to get someone to help me sort everything out. And yeah, it was going well. I actually went well for some time, so people started bypassing the PA to talk to me directly. You know,
I think people will always do that.
Yeah.
Because once they have access to you, also, they will consistently always try to come to you.
Yeah.
And that's where you have to, be insistent that
Yeah.
this is the process I've built, this is the business structure that I've created.
Yeah, and it was
I
quite
can see my people
difficult.
signaling me, but I love the conversation. So let's keep at it for a while.
Okay.
If somebody from government is watching, they will like this question. How do you handle taxes? I'm asking this because there was a time that I remember Makokreku Mante went on a whole thing about how content creators should be taxed, YouTube, blah, 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 and all of those things. How do you currently handle taxes? If you are running the business, you are paying people and things like that. How do you currently handle that?
So with that, I have a manager, so
The manager manages the taxes. Okay.
I would say that what I do is I calculate the tax on top of my rates and then I give everything so that at the end of the day, I'm still getting my rates.
Your rates.
Yes.
Okay,
so
because
like
you
a
work
markup.
mostly with the agency, so they take WHT.
So I work with some brands
Direct brands.
directly,
Okay.
and then I work with the agencies too. So I always tell them I am going to calculate the tax,
the
on,
tax
top of it so that I get.
Yeah, so what I'm asking is that to offset the withholding tax that they will take sometimes?
Yes.
Okay.
So that is not even though it's calculated on my rates, we still add
On top of that.
on top of it so that at the end of the day you are getting what your actual
Your
rates
actual
are.
net rate,
Yeah.
okay.
Same as Khali, my manager.
Your manager handles everything, so you can. And you?
Similarly, but for some time I was doing the same thing Fimba was doing, where you add the withholding tax to the rates. But now I have someone that handles everything, so yeah.
Okay. So, beyond hiring people, what's the first investment you've made? Because I remember there was a craze also with ring lights. Everybody wanted a ring light. Like, what's the first? I bought this phone or I bought this laptop or something specifically because I'm a content creator. What's the first investment you also made in that space? This one, very quick fire, so that Risa will stop signaling me about my time.
First major investment was a camera.
A camera. What
Yeah.
camera?
A Lumix S5.
Okay, the Mix S5.
So big money, big camera. That was the
Okay.
first major investment.
For me, pots. I don't do anything serious. My saucepan and my daddy saying has to be renewed.
And your light is natural light.
My natural lights, very natural. So
Actually have an off trajectory question for you about your food.
all right.
What happens when you cook all that food?
Ah,
Because it's like, I'm always thinking like she's always cooking, but I never see somebody eating.
anybody eating it? Yes, my family they do eat sometimes.
They must be well fed, eh? Because, it's a lot of, and they eat from all parts of Ghana. Sometimes she cooks something from the north.
Yeah.
Then she also cooks like
African food.
Jenkple. I'm like, do you know how to cook Jenkple? You're not aware. Leave that to us. But I love that you are projecting every part of it.
Yes.
Fimba,
Yeah,
biggest
by the way,
or
before
first
I
investment?
answer, I have to try her food. I haven't tried it
real,
yet.
real.
Okay, so mine, 2020, ring lights and tripod. That was like my first.
Whoever was importing ring lights in 2020 made
They
a
really
lot
made
of money. Ring lights, tripod, made a lot of money. First investment?
I want to say a phone, but I didn't buy it because it was,
was
a
given
gift.
to you?
Yeah,
Beyond that, you've not made any other.
a car.
A car?
Yeah,
How does the car help your content creation?
moving around. It was
You're
crazy.
not a lifestyle content creator, my guy.
I go for meetings. There are days where
Fair.
you can go for like
Fair.
4 or 5 meetings, 6
Fair.
meetings in a day.
Fair.
Yeah,
Fair.
so it was, yeah.
Fair. Okay. So this is where I want to just get 2 questions from everybody, but I will give a prompt to the question so that we can have it directed, right? So if you are trying to start out in content creation, maybe if you raise your hand fast, then you will just pick 2 people. What are your biggest fears? So that they can answer to that, right? If you want to start out in content creation. If you have any fear that you want them to respond to, because these people seem to have all the experience. They can respond to that. Okay, I have one lady right here. So you just mention your name and maybe your content niche if you're already a content creator. Oh yeah, we've hooked all the mics. Okay. So just tell us your name and...
Okay, so I'm Dinah. I'm into food and space review. Also, I talk about gossip. So, yeah, this is to Chef Abi. Okay, no, Chef Abi and Famba. Fimba, Pearl. I've heard that name, so it's in my head now, Pearl. So, I'm at a space where I don't really have money on me to go to restaurants to buy food and try and put on my page. And because right now I'm in the space where I'm looking for a 9-to-5 to balance with my content creation. So I've written to some restaurants, some other spaces. I'm a new content creator. I would like to partner with them. But I haven't gotten any, should I say feedback or any response from them. I think I sent that email beginning of this month. Till now I've not heard anything, and it's kind of like, should I say?
You want to give up?
No, not give up, but it's heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking.
So how do I balance that, like that disappointment?
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You want to answer now?
Hello.
Any of you?
Hello. I really feel you, my sister. So, when I started, I had a similar issues, of course. Then I later got to realize that brands look at value before reaching out to brands. If they don't see any value you can give them, what can you offer on your page? They won't reach out to you back. They won't mind you. So what I did was to invest in my own self. Because first of all, you're not working for brands. Put that in your mind, all of you. You're doing this content because you enjoy it, not because you're looking for brands to work with you. So if that's your first goal, that means you're investing in your brand, yourself. You're going to put in efforts on your page to let the brand see that they don't even have to question or have meetings to choose you. You are their first choice. So what do you do then? I did a content creation class, like I said, with my case of, and I asked my students that, must you carry your money? Don't you eat every day? You eat in the house. Must you carry money to a restaurant to shoot content? What about the food you are eating at home? You can't shoot content on it.
It doesn't have ambience.
It doesn't matter. So that's the thing most content creators or most we young people look. We've created an impression on social media, so people want to do the same thing. Yeah. But that's not it. It's how you put it out there and how you want people to see you and see your content and appreciate your work. So if it's the food you want to eat in the house and review your own food for the beginning of it, do it. It gets to a point, brands will, or whatever, you build your page more, you can get money to be going to restaurants, brands will start noticing you. So like I said, first value is what you can offer for your own self first before you think about brands next, all the time. I don't know if that works for you.
Yeah, Finn.
Okay, another thing I would say is you need to be persistent. So aside doing what she mentioned, like you said, you don't have enough money. What can you afford? If you still want to do maybe food reviews other than what you eat, you can go to like your local food vendor and still do a video on it. The more organic you are, the more people resonate with you. When I started my travel content, no one called me because everyone knew me for fashion, even more fashion than lifestyle. So I had to start small, like go to anywhere I could afford, do a video on it, be as organic as I can be, say what I like, what I don't like, give people detail. And with time, when I pitch to like Airbnbs, resorts, they just see your page and then they are happy to even collaborate with you. Yeah. So you can just start small. I understand you don't have enough right now. I would say you can start with like local food vendors, your location, talk about where you live, your favorite food vendors there, and slowly work your way up. And be persistent. You can't just reach out to a brand via their email. You have to send an email, DM them.
Go there.
If there's a number, go there. If there's a number, call them. Just try and reach them on all their socials so that they know that you're serious. Yeah.
Now, before the next question, maybe just to also add. So I spent like almost 10 years running an agency, and your first money, if you're not an established brand or an established creator, will most likely come through an agency, right? Because beyond when clients want to do the big, at some point they feel like, oh, the person just has numbers, not influence. So we try to go for what we call the micro influencers, blah, 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 and all of that. So we look for just who is in that content niche space that has some enough followers and good high engagement. Which it goes back to what Chef Abi said. You have to create the content for yourself and your audience. Don't think about the brands. Once you are creating good content, you are getting it. Our tools are picking up on all the data. We are always collecting as much data as we can to know that beyond the people we already know, how can we find the next? And on the agency side, truth is, these people are expensive. So if we can get 10 of you to give us the same impact than getting one, we would prefer that as an agency. So we are consistently looking out for those people, and we will reach out to them ourselves. Now, the other thing that you also have to notice is that there has to be some sort of differentiation, right? Everybody's doing the same thing with restaurants, reviews, and everything. And I'm not saying we cannot have like too much content, right? Because people are always going to watch. But maybe you decide to do your restaurant reviews in a different way. You just add some small thing to change it. Maybe instead of going there to actually eat the food, you just review the menu. You're looking at, oh, this menu will look good. Something different that you can add as a differentiator so that you are not part of just a large pool. Because if you are very different, it doesn't matter if you have a lot of numbers. If you are looking for somebody who can just, really change the game. Because, we all have food content creators. Maybe we just want something different. Which is why there's a lady who eats a lot. In the beginning, I was consulting for some brands and they wanted to work with her. I was very much like, do we want to do that? But eventually I was like, you know what? It's a different thing. It will give us a different kind of audience. Let's do it. So she didn't get the gig because she had lots of followers. She got it because she was just different. And it's the same thing we see with Kivo. There was a guy. They are just different people that bring a different sort of virality, something different that you can do. I'm not saying you have to go that route, but it's also a good way to just differentiate yourself when you're creating the content.
Since no one has any... Okay.
Yeah, she wants to ask her own question. Risa, don't worry, I'll make it 3 questions, so you'll take yours, okay?
Please, I want to ask 2 questions in one. And one is for Fimba.
Mention your name so I know you.
Andy Abe.
I will never call you again to ask questions. How can you have 2 questions in one?
So the first one is to Fimba, Shefabi, and Desi, and second one is to Khali. I'm starting my content creation, and then all they talk about is consistency. Consistency to me, or to someone else, to be posting each and every day. And I want to ask that when you're talking about consistency, do you mean posting each and every day, or scheduling days for you to post? Now, after my 5 years of content creation, I'm excelling in whatever I'm doing. Brands will come at me, agencies will come at me. What are the basic and general things I should look out for, question them, know about them before I let them come into my brand or community?
Okay, they are deciding who will answer. Desi.
Yeah, so let me take the consistency part. Consistency can be different on various parts, right? In my beginning, I didn't have that much time, so what I used to do was batch create content and make sure I post every single day. If you look at my Instagram right now, I don't post every single day. But I make sure I show up at least 3 times a day, 3 times a week, so that my content is still visible to my audience and they don't know that I've disappeared or something. So start creating content in the way that you can post every single day as much as you can. I'll tell you, drown people with your content. Create as much as you can. Let people get tired of your content. Still post. Once they keep seeing you, eventually they'll take your content as it is. And what was the other question? When brands come to you, what you should look out for and to question them about. So what does the brand want you to promote? That's the first thing you should know. Is it a product that fits into your niche, 1? Is it a product that doesn't go against your morals, 2? Is it a product that will not go against your religion, 3? Also, what are they coming to pay you or what are they coming to give you? Know their budget, right? You may have your rate card, you may have your budget. One thing I learned along the line is 2020. So when World Health Organization reached out to me, they asked for my budget. I told them $500, so thinking that's some big money. Yeah. Luckily for me, the person in charge was someone I knew, like foreigner, white girl. I messaged me and told me the budget is this. It's more than this.
See how you didn't mention the actual budget?
It's more than this. Someone may not tell you. So the best thing I'll tell you is ask them for their budgets first before you mention any amount. Once you know what you're working with. If you can do it, good. If it's low for you, try and negotiate and see how it goes from there.
Are you answered, Andy?
You want all of us?
You want to hear all of them?
Okay.
Andy, you are more than a moderator. Okay, maybe quickly.
So yeah, I agree with everything he said. Consistency is not about posting every day. You would overwork yourself if you do that. It's about showing up when you have to. That's consistency. You have told yourself, I'm going to post on Monday, Tuesday, and Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, you post. I was fighting with my content creation students that after they shoot the video, to be smiling in their gallery, taking space. They will never post it. What are you waiting for in that video? So that's you taking that consistency away because you're scared to post or you don't want to post it or something. But showing up, even if the content is not even what you plan to post, you still post it. You don't know what that content will do or how the views will go. So that's consistency. I am a very consistent person in my career, whatever I'm doing. I have to be consistent because that is what is going to build your brand. So you want to be big Chef Abis, you want to be big Femba, you want to be like Khali J, you want to be like, but you're not consistent. So how do you get to that stage? I always tell people that don't look at, of course you can take inspiration from these people, but you want to be you, the big person of you yourself. You are making sure that you get to that stage you want to get to. How to do that? It's by posting every time, when you have to. So it doesn't mean post Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No, my dear. Post when you have to post. The brand question you asked is a very important question because I, for one, I made a lot of mistakes when I was a creator. I didn't ask questions. When a brand comes, hey, this is a brand. Hey, I want the money. I take the money. I don't look at what value am I getting from this. Is the money enough? Will I get something from it? No. Does it even resonate with my brand? Is it something I do? Or am I just taking the money? So, fortunately, as you're growing, don't worry about all the mistakes you make as a creator because as you're growing, you're going to look at all the mistakes and work on them. You're going to get better at it. Mistakes will never stop coming because that's what will make you grow. So don't worry about it. But these are things that you should know that when a brand comes to you, it's not just the money. It's the value both of you are giving to each other. So how best can I help you? How best can you also help me? Does it work for me? I'm sorry, this doesn't work for me. I don't do travel content. I can't help you on this. Please go to Femba. You recommend another creator as something you all should be doing, recommending your fellow creators because we're all trying to grow. Okay, this works for me. Even in your niche as a food creator, there are some things that might still not work for you. You might be doing food, but it doesn't mean you can do restaurant content. I don't do restaurants, so it doesn't mean if a restaurant comes to me, I'll say, oh, I do food, so I take the restaurant's brand or something. So these are things you should consider. What you do, you niche your content down. Okay, I'm a travel content creator. I travel to only local places. So that means the brands that comes to you has to resonate with that. I travel to foreign places. That means the brands that comes to you has to resonate with that. So these are things you should do as content creators. Niche your content down to something to be known for it. And when brands come to you, it's not all that, but the money is good, oh. Hey, ask for the money. Sometimes they have more budgets than what they, yes, ask for it. That's why you need people, other content creators, ask them, but how much are they charging you? 5,000 cedis. They're giving me 2,000. So these are things that we all do as content creators. We limit the money. So now they feel like, okay, if even Femba is taking 2,000, so why should we pay Chef Abby's 5,000? So you have to have content creator friends that also are in your niche, that you can have a conversation. That, of course, everybody likes you, don't worry. That has conversations about these things. And then before you answer a brand, you know all these things first, okay? But don't worry, it's not scary.
Do you still want to hear from everybody?
Yeah,
Abby.
I think I'm not going to repeat what they've said because I would just be saying the same thing. But what I can add to the consistency bit is plan your content like ahead of time. plan for the month of August. What do I want to do? Depending on your niche, plan, I want to do this, I want to film this. It's going to help guide you so that you don't get burnt out, so that you're able to be consistent. Because if you're always waking up, Monday, what should I film? Tuesday, what should I film? Hey, I need to film 3 times, and you're now doing it. You have to plan ahead, and that will help you stay consistent. And yeah, everything else they said. Yeah.
All right. You want to hear from Khali J too? Khali, do you have something to add? Do you have something to add?
Okay, with the brand, I feel they've said, just look at your brand personally, and then look at the brands approaching you, and then you weigh the differences. Look at what they're offering you, what you can also offer, how they can elevate your brand, and then you look at the money too, because then it's also important. And then I think you'll be good to go.
Okay. Thank you. Risa, you still want to ask your question?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Make it quick.
I had a lot, but I'll just ask. How do people measure your success as content creators?
Okay.
And honestly, do you think Ghanaian content creators are ready to compete globally?
To compete globally, you have entered into my next question. So we'll hold on to the global one, but you can answer the first one. How do you measure your success? Yes, you can go.
So personally, I've gotten to a point where I'm no longer following the algorithm. I measure my success based off like regular people when they approach me and they're like, oh, I follow you. I went to this place because of you. And also some of the brands I'm working with. I just started travel content in 2023. And so far I've worked with 3 tourism boards. And that's like such a big deal because when I started, I didn't even know because I was targeting Ghana. Like I just wanted to show the different parts of Ghana. It's not just Accra, going to restaurants. You can also go to Akosombo. And then Khali J was actually the first person that linked me to my first tourism board gig, which was Rwanda. And then I went on to work with the South African Tourism Board and now the Indian Tourism Board. So that is how I measure my success, not really from my number of followers or like
views.
the views. No, she said, you have to enjoy doing it. So every time I put out content, even if it doesn't do as well as I thought it would, I just keep going. So that's how I measure.
Khali J, how do you measure your success?
Okay, so
Number of space listeners?
not really, but for someone like me, I rarely look back at I really enjoy the success. Let me just put it that way because sometimes you're just caught up in the moment. So like you take a breather and you're like, oh, I did all this. So basically that's what happens. For instance, if you are very active on Twitter back in 2018, 2019, 2020, you realize that the space was more of entertainment and football. But after the whole Fix the Country, you realize that there was a shift when it comes to conversations on the app. Most of the youth are now interested in national issues. You go to the post something, maybe the TV3 post something, then you find the youth in the comments and the quotes debating about it, questioning it, and you realize that you played a major role in it. When X Spaces came about, or Twitter Spaces came about, I did a lot of interviews on there. I managed to interview most of the Ghanaian acts on here, Sarkodie and Shatawale Medical, the big dogs on here. I went to Nigeria, interviewed a lot of people from Nigeria, Tiwa Savage, Korede Bello, Joe Boy, Lakon, a number of them. I went international, interviewed Akon, straight from Young Tax Camp. I partnered with a Grammy board member. Those are kind of some things that
You see as success.
yeah, sometimes you look back, and I was able to bridge the gap between our political leaders and the youth, and then our diplomats, because it got to a point, people saw diplomats and ambassadors as people that were not approachable, and I managed to bring most of them on to Twitter Spaces for regular citizens to be able to ask them questions one-on-one without having to pass through interviews and all that, which was like a changing experience for people.
Okay. And for you, Chef Abis, we already know how you measure success. Time 100 created. I'm joking. I'll keep repeating that until she deep said that. Oh, she's there, you know.
Yeah, so like they all said, success is not about money or about how much is coming into your bank accounts or your pockets. As a content creator, you make your first 10,000, you're like, hey, I'm a successful content creator, oh, then it ends there. But it's more about impacts. How do you touch people? Which people do you reach with your content? Are people trying my recipes? What I'm putting out there, do I get reviews from it? Do I get people texting me, Chef Abis, I love your content today. Please, next time, make food from Benin or Niger. That's success. That means your work is reaching a community that it's supposed to reach. If your brand is growing, you don't just see it from money. You see it from, you have a brand goal. Are you is it aligning? Are things going as planned? Are you always posting your content? Okay, I always post. It's success for you. You planned your content. You posted as you planned. It's success. It's not about how much money you're always making. It's more than that. So you guys should always make sure that whatever you are doing or whatever content you're putting out there, you make sure you achieve every goal that you've tied to that content. So impact is very important. Influence is very important. Yeah. Youth are gathering, they are making sure that today they have to watch Chef Abby's video. It's success. So I see it from that angle. Money will come through that angle.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
Let's see.
Similar to her, impact. So when I started creating content, everyone's creating dance, comedy, food, and no one was doing tech. So having to see new creators come out doing tech and telling you they've seen you from the beginning, you influence them to start creating content on tech, I measure that as a success. Okay. Also, like you said, the recognition. So being recognized by some of these major brands, Google, Meta, makes a big difference to me because when I started, nobody was even watching my content. But now seeing these major tech giants know who I am, recognize me, and are willing to partner and willing to help me do things a certain way, that's how I measure my success.
Okay. So we should normally be wrapping up now, but I would take 5 to 10 more minutes to talk about the global, going global. Because I think that's also one thing that I've been curious about. How do we, as Ghanaians in anything, music, blah, 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 everything, go global? Because it's always Nigerians, South Africans, and some Kenyans, right? You have gone global. Not even now. I'm not even talking about now. Prior to you doing the Time 100, cooking for the mayor of London, doing the Cannes Lions and all of that, you were already out there I think you are one of the most consistent content creators that was working with the Nigerian. I think Annie and the rest. And I was like, is she Ghanaian or not? At some point, I forgot you were Ghanaian. Because the most time that I will come across, because I was already following Annie because we've done some work together, is when I see Annie post you and I'm like, Chef Abby. So when I heard that you are actually Ghanaian, it was a surprise to me in the beginning. And then the next time I heard about you was Cannes Lions and everything. Because I really don't consume content much. I'm more in the business side of things in my office all the time. So for me, how did you first crack that friendship with Eniolua?
Food now. He likes food.
I know he likes food. How did he find you? You're not the only food content creator.
That's a very good question. How to be noticed out of thousands is what all of you should consider when you are starting your work. First of all, there are so many people doing what you do. But why is yours different? Why are you noticed? And they will only see that through the content you put out there. So you don't just come and stand there and say, hi, I'm Chef Abis, please notice me out of 1,000 people. They don't see that. They see that from the content you're putting out there. So what kind of content do you want to put to be noticed out of thousands? Like I said, I didn't want to be lazy about my work. I want my content to be when you watch it, you feel something. You feel like, this is a great video. So these are things I put in place for my own brand, that whatever I'm putting out there will reach thousands of people all over the world. I was shooting in my room or in my hall, whatever it is, with a small table, doing recipes. Then I realized that, no, I need to do more than that. I need to come out of my shell. I never used to show my face. Yes. I need to attach my face to my brand. So I came out of my shy self that, why must I always be shooting?
So you brought your personality to it.
I attached my face to it because people seeing that it's a young person behind this bold content alone is a plus for you. So now I said I want to shoot content that are very African, local, that touches so many people all over the world. So when you start from that angle, you notice that, okay, I want to go out of my way, do things that are unbelievable. I said I'll cook food from Ghana that are not popular. I'd use 7 hours to shoot one recipe one time. 7 hours. And these are things we're doing that people don't see. All they see is 1 minute, 28 seconds video. But you don't know the work we put in that content. And these are things that you will do that will make you be noticed out of thousands. Because how many recipes of is online? You don't even know what is, probably.
I don't.
Exactly. You might see it on my page. So these are the things I decided to do that took me out of so many people doing food content. Now I want to catch the global. So now when I started doing that, international brands started noticing that this is unique. We want to know more about this person. Let's see, what can you... So now I said, okay, to touch international brands or to touch global markets, let me start cooking African food. If I start cooking food from Benin, that means people from Benin will watch my content. Yeah. If I start cooking food from Sierra Leone, people from Sierra Leone are watching. The Sierra Leone president can call me. Who knows? It's coming. It's possible. Everything is possible.
But how do you, sorry, not...
Yes.
How do you, like...
Yes.
How do you cook?
How do I cook?
I think I cook too.
Yes.
But then I'm not going to wake up one day and then have confidence that I can actually cook Sierra Leonean food for people to enjoy. How do you have that confidence that you can actually make this?
Yeah.
Because it's like reading a recipe online and trying to do it.
Yes. So that's the thing that's where talent and
so you're saying
passion
I'm not
comes
talented?
in. I'm not saying that, but it's possible. Talent comes in because I can say I'm a talented food content creator.
Okay.
That means you're adding talent to it, like someone that draws. Can draw in a way that someone can also draw, but the person might not draw like this person. So I have a bold mind that I will do this recipe. Even if I can't do it, even if I make a mistake, I will redo it. I make mistakes now. I redid some recipes that nobody even knows. That's the sacrifice you have to make for your brand to be noticed in a global space. So these are things I did that it was just coming like wildfire. Brands on global markets were just noticing me. Abby, let's go to France. Let's go to this. TikTok. Would you ever think a brand like TikTok will reach out to you? And that's what most content creators don't see. They feel like they can't get these brands to notice them. To be noticed, then that means you have to work harder than you're working now. You have to do the things that are extraordinary. I like when they said that your content, I think one of the speakers said, your content might not be, the brand speaker, might not be reaching a certain market because you are doing the same thing that everybody is doing. Hi guys, come with me to this new boba spot. How about something else that is unique, that makes you unique from other people? So these are things that I want my fellow content creators to also be doing that will reach international spaces.
India, Rwanda. I think we already know about the Rwanda one, but India, I would like to hear about how you got to India. Then you generally, how you got all those other, musicians from the other countries, right? So that we can wrap it up quickly and fast.
Yeah, so let me try and summarize it. Started in 2023, was posting about gems in Ghana, hidden gems in Ghana. Got my first gig with Rwanda. Went there, created a lot of content about the place, showing my audience, and then traveled to SE. South Africa reached out to me. Like she said, you have to work hard. So like while I'm there, when you travel, the time difference, and you still have to find a way to edit and make sure that you're posting every day. Because once you're on the trip, eyes are on you. So I posted consistently, and then India. So they just they all reach out to me.
So it's just discovery through your content.
Yes,
okay,
through
great.
consistency, yeah.
Because it's not reaching out. You have to get the person to come on your space. Because I think for me, it was when you started, you took your spaces outside of Ghana, doing all the Akon Nigerian people. I was like, okay, Khali J is big.
Okay, so...
Hello.
Okay, so when Twitter Spaces started in Ghana, a lot of people were not really taking it seriously because they thought it was just for fun. But I felt that it was a big opportunity to bridge the gap between the users and then the upper people. And it was a very beautiful opportunity. So I decided to host Twitter Spaces. And
how do you get the upper people? Because I think like someone mentioned that they DM the brand and they have gotten no response. You can DM Sarkodie and you get no response for like 2 years to shock you. So how did you get those upper people to actually just notice you?
Okay, so when it comes to like the Ghanaian entertainment space, I know almost all the acts personally.
He's a big man.
Because we've done something like maybe in the past or something.
Okay.
even if I don't know them personally, I know someone who knows them personally. So it was quite easy. So when I started doing the Twitter spaces, people were not really taking it seriously. So I wanted them to be serious about my space. So the first thing I did was I mounted a billboard for myself at Shiashi somewhere there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, people made fun of it because they felt it was just Twitter Spaces. Why you're doing extra? Yeah, so it became a topic on Twitter. It trended for some time, but then they acted and the creative saw it, and then they were like, okay, I want to be on the space. What's the space about? I reached out to a lot of people. A lot of creatives started coming on, and sometimes it was quite difficult getting some of the creatives because they don't know how the Twitter Spaces used to work. So sometimes you'll be home and they'll tell that, oh, Shatawale is at Accra Mall. And then you pick a car, you leave wherever you are to meet him, to talk to him, and explain to him how Twitter Spaces work. So I got to a time I was exhausting all the artists and creatives in Ghana because almost all of them were my spaces. So I decided to go outside Nigeria, Ghana, to other parts of Africa or the world.
People. Okay.
So I knew this lady who was part of the Grammy board. We met on X, Twitter. So I spoke to her about the spaces, and I told her that she's also on the HNR. So I told her that we can collaborate and run something on the spaces. I'll need like creatives from her side. I'll give her the audience in Ghana. And I reached out to other music houses and agencies in Ghana and Nigeria. And we got the stars, Tiwa Savage and all those came on. And in America, we got a lot of
the people from that side.
Yes.
I think one thing that's ringing out for me is persistence. You know, he kept saying he had to go to speak to somebody, chase other people around, but also trying to leverage on offline for your online. Because, you know, we always look at the content creation and the space as, oh, we are doing this thing online, but he did a billboard. And that billboard became the talkability that I'm sure you trended for a while, and then that also became that viral turning point for you. So again, you have to have strategies on what you really want to achieve and just keep hitting at it. It won't happen now, but if you keep that persistent nature, it will eventually go in. Last thing I wanted to speak about, platforms. And you know, the space is evolving. And every single day, algorithms are changing. Facebook is changing, and you know, TikTok was not there before, and the TikTok came, and then it overtook some platforms and things like that. How? Before I ask, what's your biggest platform that you're on? Biggest one, biggest TikTok, Instagram. Oh, it's Twitter, X, right? So let's start from you. If X should shut down today, what happens to your content creation career?
I'll take it somewhere else. There's LinkedIn, there's Facebook.
Have you built that sort of, have you paid that attention to that other platform also?
Oh yeah, it's easy for me to go to any platform I want. But then I feel comfortable on X.
X.
Right, yeah.
Okay. If Instagram should shut down today or disappear, let's say disappear, what happens to your content creation career?
So I'm not just on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn. But I should be posting more on LinkedIn, though.
Okay.
But I'm on all these platforms.
And your weight, if I should call it that way, your influencer weight on those platforms matches what you have on Instagram. Like, let's take from the brand side. Would I look at your Facebook and be like, oh, I still want to work with Fimba?
I would say my TikTok and Instagram are similar.
Okay.
YouTube, I'm still growing. And now LinkedIn, because of the conversations we had, I'm going to be
please
posting.
Do. LinkedIn is, we need more people posting on LinkedIn because I'm tired of seeing the fake stories. So more real people, please post on LinkedIn all the time. Yeah. If TikTok disappears today, what happens to your content creation career?
Hello. Yeah. So, content creators, you have to post everywhere. TikTok happens to be the page that has more followers. Doesn't mean it's the page that has more influence for you. Okay. That means that you have to have all-round influence everywhere, even outside content creation. Influence on old people that don't watch TikTok. How about that? So these are things that you should consider. That means you have to be everywhere. Even if it means going into book writing for your content, enter. Because that means you're not limiting yourself anymore. You're trying to hit your content like on all pages if possible. So it's not just TikTok happen to be the biggest platform.
For you.
It is just More followers, that's
Okay.
it. But I post everywhere. I give attention to all my pages.
Okay.
So it's growing as it should grow, depending on the kind of page and how they operate.
Okay.
Yes.
For you, Desmond, yours is a bit interesting because tech content, Twitter, it doesn't really seem like this. TikTok doesn't really seem like the audience matches. Because before you, most of the tech content creators were doing YouTube videos and some on Twitter or X. I can never call it X. It's still Twitter to me. So how does it work for you, especially on TikTok? And if TikTok should disappear today, what happens to your content creation career?
Yeah, so for me, it's really simple. I'm offering solutions as quick as possible. That's my whole thing. So I'm cutting the whole hello, hi, I'm solving your problem as it is. And that's what people have gotten to know about me, as in when you come to me, whatever you're looking for, you get
Find it there. Okay.
People are not looking to watch maybe 10 minutes video talking about one solution for something. 30 seconds, that's what it is. I also do YouTube, so yeah.
You're
YouTube
still growing on there.
Growing on there.
Okay.
But funny enough, even for me to be LinkedIn. Right?
To be LinkedIn.
My first travel gig came from LinkedIn.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not really big on LinkedIn, but based on what I've done over the years and based on things I post on LinkedIn, I was given the opportunity to fly to Rwanda by the Rwanda government.
I think Rwanda loves our influencers because there's one, there's two, and there's you two. Then you next. Amen. Amen to that.
So definitely LinkedIn.
Okay.
IG has
IG also. Okay. So I don't know if you have time for questions, but if we don't, let's do quick fire. I have like 3 questions, all of you can answer or randomly. And what do you think is the next big opportunity in Ghana's creators economy? Let's do that starting with Abena. Chef Abis. Yes. The next biggest opportunity in Ghana's creator economy. You have to think about it.
I would say penetrating other countries surrounding us.
Okay.
So like dominating, trying to partner with people in Togo, Burkina Faso, Nigeria. That would be the next big thing for us.
Can you speak French?
Small.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with her.
You agree
so
with
for
her?
someone like me, some of my contents are translated to French. I don't speak French, but I'm using AI to translate
it.
to
Okay.
other languages.
So you're testing out new audiences outside of
outside,
Ghana. Okay. Khali, next big opportunity in creators in the Ghana's creators economy.
Generally, or from my side,
From your side.
I've identified some loopholes in the space, and I'm working on something big.
He doesn't want to share because he wants to be the one to build in that space first. Okay. One tool or app that you would say is essential to your career. One tool or app that you say is essential to your career.
CapCut.
Okay. You pay for it, the pro?
I pay for it.
The full pro?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other tool? Don't say Twitter.
ChatGPT.
Okay, that's true.
One tool.
Yes.
My phone.
Your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. What phone?
Samsung and the iPhone.
The Samsung. No, I'm asking for the specificity, just in case somebody wants to be like, oh, I like how Fimbers, things come out really clear. Maybe that's the phone they want to buy or something. But we are not giving free promo to brands. They didn't sponsor. So we'll move on from that. Okay. And then, last question, all of you from my side. In 10 years, how do you want your career or your influence to be seen? 10 years. Who wants to go first? Desi. Okay.
Probably one of the biggest tech media outlets out there in Ghana, in Africa.
Okay.
So that's where I'm looking to go, as well as production. So trying to actually produce products, not just talking about tech, but production. Let's say
You want to make tech products?
tech products.
MKHDB or something,
So
stuff like that.
yes.
Okay.
Maybe your first flying car will come for me. Who knows?
Please. I like that. You heard it here first. If it happens in 10 years, you will still hear it here first. Okay, you?
Okay, so I want to be the biggest, if not the biggest, food creator. I want to be the biggest food personality in the whole world. That people will mention my names in rooms. Yes.
She's
If
very
it comes
close,
to-
by the way.
Yes. If it comes to
Time
food,
100.
if you're mentioning something food related, Chef Abby's name has to be on the table. And I want my show that is coming up, the African Pantry Challenge, to be something that can compete with Food Network Chopped. And that's my next vision. Can't wait.
Please. We would like that on TV3.
So in the next 10 years, I want to be one of the biggest travel creators in the world, in Africa specifically. I want, whenever travel is mentioned, the name Finbar Explores should be associated with it. And yeah, that's like the biggest goal I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Every other thing is like underneath it.
Underneath
So
that.
like, yeah.
Just because you do lifestyle fashion, because normally what I see with lifestyle fashion creators is they tend to start creating their own things. You know, she will start launching Finbar lipsticks or Finbar face stuff.
So the thing about me is there has been an evolution of my content. Yes, I still love fashion, but now I'm more passionate about
the travel. Okay,
Yes.
okay, that's
So
good.
that
Do you
is-
do the trips, those trips that, you know, a lot of...
Yeah, so that's why I said that would come under.
Okay.
But like the main thing
is to be the biggest.
because I feel like us as now, Wodemaya is like the name that is there for travel. So I want to get to that level and possibly, in the next 10 years.
Thank you. Khali.
Okay, in the next 10 years, I want to retire from social media.
I thought you were going to say you want to do another fix the country. I'm like, please, you should expect that the country is fixed by the next 10 years.
Oh, it's too hectic.
It's too hectic.
Yeah. But then in the next 10 years, I want to combine social media with agriculture because I'm very passionate about agriculture and use social media to drive a lot of people into agriculture because the space is quite big and it's very undeveloped and there's so much potential there when it comes to poultry, fish farming, cash crops and all that. And the next 10 years, because I want to go into agriculture, like serious ones. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'll combine it with social media.
Okay. Thank you very much. And you've heard from Abena, Chef Abis, who left engineering for the kitchen. Joshua, a.k.a. Khali J, who turned tweets into movements and careers. Pearl, a.k.a. Finbar, who is building a travel empire, but wants to be the biggest travel content creator in that. And then, of course, Desmond, who says he provides a lot of solutions to your tech problems on social media. Desmond, a.k.a. Desi, right? Now, the thing here is, it's not really about whether you yourself sitting in the audience or me, because I think Pearl told me I'm not a content creator, so I'll be a content creator from tomorrow. It's not about whether you can do it. And I think every single time I hear Chef Abis speak, that comes out. It's not about you. Everybody can do it. But are you willing to do what it takes to really do it? Because she spoke about really focusing on the stuff and doing them the right way. So I hope that you pick something from them, and they might be around or they might leave quickly. So if you have questions, you can also ask them directly or speak to their managers. Please speak to the managers. Let's give them a round of applause to Chef, to Khali, to Desi, and also to Finbar for providing the insights for us today. And I really just want to say, again, a big thank you to EcoBank for sponsoring this session and making it possible for the dream of Creator Circles to really come to. If you are not part of the Creator Circle platform, please join. We are taking a lot of the feedback and the things that are missing, and we are trying to build the tools to help with better reporting, better rate card systems, better payments, how to hold payments in escrow and things like that so that, you can really get the best from the brand. So you can always go to creators.africa, sign up, and we are building tools. It's really the first version, but there's more coming up from that side. Thank you very much, guys. And it was really nice to be here. Over to you, King. You have to come and take the mic so we can walk away.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause one more time. And as they go, keep it rolling as they step off the stage. Keep it rolling. Yeah, so we've come to the end of our very first Thought Leadership Forum. You've heard from who you need to hear from finance to branding to those who have made this a career themselves. We've ended. But the question we're leaving is, now that you know, what will you do? Now that you know, now that you've heard, what will you do? My name is King Kwaku Mensah, and this has been Creator Circle's Thought Leadership Forum. Thank you so much for coming. Those who are watching us on social media, thank you so much. Thank you so much to EcoBank as well. Thank you so much to 3 Extra and Executive Theatre for giving us the space. We are going to take some quick images outside. You understand? Catch your favorite content creator, do some snaps with him or her. Make sure you tag in Creator Circles. Make sure you're tagging 3 Extra. We'll post it as well. Thank you so much for coming through. We'll catch you on another time, Charlie.